Hey everyone, before we get started with today's video, if you forgot to use a referral code when you signed up for Uber to get your bonus or guarantee of up to $1,000, then here's how to apply my referral code so you can still get some extra money. Here's the steps. So 1, open the Uber app. Next, click your photo or the 3 lines at the top corner. Click earnings. Click help or question mark. Click account and payment. Then referrals. And this step is really important. Click invited driver, report my missing or incorrect driver referral. And then click send a message. And for the invite code, use G4QA5UE. Friend's name, yours truly, Gregory Wave. GREGORYWAVE, like wave. The phone number is 815-847-0184. And the email is gregwave@yahoo.com. And for the details, you can just say something like, my good friend Gregory referred me to drive for Uber. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rideshare Hub. My name is Greg Wave. I am your host today. Forgive my little t-shirt shade. It is very, very hot in Phoenix today. We're looking at a 110 degree day. So blocking out the sun in every way I can. In fact, I'm gonna get that visor down too. That might help. So today I'm actually gonna give you guys like more of a breakdown of my story. In the first video, I kind of gave you guys like a 1-minute brief explanation of it, but I'm going to go more into my story because I went from basically using Uber and Lyft to transition careers and being like a crazy full-time driver to where I'm at now, where, you know, I essentially have 2 different careers that I'm doing very well with, and I still do a little bit of part-time driving, but it's not as big in my life. So I want to talk about that switch and just a lot of the things I've learned along the way. So when I started driving, I was living in Nashville, Tennessee. I was working in a real estate development company, and I really I'd always had this pull on my heart to pursue acting. I had a lot of people that told me to go after it, and I just, you know, I don't know if it's my personality or what, but people always told me to go after it. So I always thought about that, and the reality was, like, in my career, I was very unhappy. You know, I feel like it is kind of like, you know, the typical story of, like, you see on the YouTube inspirational videos, I was unhappy, so I decided to quit. But it is what it is. So I quit my job, and I didn't have, like, a crazy good career going, but, you know, it was a risk. And I just really wanted to go after acting. So I started auditioning for like little student films I could find, slowly started building my acting resume. And amidst that whole process, I realized that like I very fast needed to find a way to start making money. So I'd heard about Uber and Lyft. I had some friends that told me about it. I had a 2013 Nissan Altima, so, you know, it qualified for Uber and Lyft. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot. So I started doing pretty well with it. My second ride I ever gave, still to this day, is the worst ride I gave in my life. And I might have to do a separate video sometime to tell you guys about that story, because I almost backed out of the entire thing that day because of how bad that ride was. But, you know, I pressed on, and I made some really good money in Nashville. You know, Nashville is a pretty solid market with the CMAs, and, you know, it's just a party city. So I did pretty well, especially weekends. I was just crushing it. Had some really, really good nights, you know, some $400 or $500 nights here and there, you know, and pretty regularly I could do like $250 to $300, you know, in a 10-hour night, you know, starting at like 3 p.m., ending at like, well, probably starting at like 5 p.m., ending at like 3 a.m. But I was killing it, man. I was doing really good. I replaced my income. You know, I did have some tough weeks, and but I started really going after it. So when I first started, I was driving anywhere from 40 to 70 hours a week, just grinding, paying all my bills with it, my car payment, rent, everything. Just really, really grinding this whole time, just trying to like increase my acting resume more and more and more. So I started doing really well, but it was still tough, and that was where I started realizing like full-time, this is going to be tough, but I kept going. I ended up moving to Charlotte, North Carolina. I had a lot of friends there that were working in the film industry, so they were going to hook me up. So I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. I did Uber and Lyft there. Definitely didn't have as good of an experience there as I did in Nashville. Charlotte just doesn't have a lot going for it. It's got a decent airport, not really too much of a nightlife scene or anything. So, and Monday through Friday, it's just, dead, I felt like. So I didn't do like hideous. Like I still was able to take care of myself, but I had that entire year of living in Charlotte was very tight. It was just really, really tough. I was always struggling, and I was getting better acting jobs, but they were taking more time. So I'd have less driving time. And a lot of times these acting gigs don't pay for sometimes 1 or 2 months down the road if it's like a deferred contract. So I had some really tough times. So I did an entire year in Charlotte. I didn't really ever work another job while I was there. I pretty much stayed consistent on just Uber and Lyft the whole time I was there. And, occasionally I'd find like a really good odd job I would do, but it's not like I had a job on the side. I was really just doing acting jobs and driving for Uber and Lyft. And so yeah, after about a year and a little bit of change, I decided I wanted to move to Phoenix, Arizona. I wanted to be closer to LA, but not in LA. I heard it had a really good market for Uber and Lyft. And in general, for what I do, there's just more stuff going on in Phoenix where I'm at now. So I made the move to Phoenix. I was living with a buddy for a while. I started driving just Lyft and wasn't doing too bad, wasn't doing too good. But then eventually I figured it out and I was really in rhythm. I was doing really, really good. But then what happened was, as I got closer to summertime, it started really slowing down here. So here in Phoenix, the population decreases drastically during the summer. It's too hot for a lot of people. They move. As well as all the college kids go home, and that's a huge presence, especially for your weekend rush. So I wasn't doing as well. So I got a really good sales job that was like a 1099 contractor position where I could do my own hours. And I started doing really well on that. And so my Uber and Lyft hours started going way down because my income was getting pretty much fully replaced by this. And then it was then that I started liking Uber and Lyft more than I ever had in my life. And I realized the biggest reason why was because I didn't have to rely on it. When I relied on it, I got really stressed out really quick. I got so bad about basically breaking all the rules and tips I've shared with you guys, because I would just get this like lackadaisical vibe about me where I was like depressed and stressed and like, always scared about not making bills, not being able to pay rent. And a lot of times, like having to do a 14-hour shift the night before something was due to make it happen. And that's the reality. It will always be an unpredictable industry. You really can't guarantee like, I'm going to go out and make $200 each day. You cannot guarantee it. And that's why I have stressed in every video so far, do not do this full time. It's just not good for your mental health, I promise. So yeah, I started doing really well at the new job, and it's the job I'm still currently working. It was also still giving me the freedom to pursue acting jobs. And now when I'm doing it here, it's never stressful. It's almost always enjoyable. The other day, I only made like $40 in like 4 or 5 hours. So like didn't do really that good. You're talking 10 an hour below minimum wage here. But I wasn't, it didn't matter to me because I did everything that I tell you guys to do. In my in-between time, I had like a 30-minute patch. I watched a TV show. I went over some acting lines. So I'm leaving my Uber and Lyft shift. Sorry about that, guys. Feeling like I got a lot done. Feeling like I did something that I enjoyed. not feeling like I wasted time and leaving going, how the hell am I going to pay rent? How the hell am I going to pay my car? How the hell am I going to do this, do that? And that's just a big difference, you know? And then, you know, it was 40, 50 more bucks that I had. I can't remember exactly. I was like 43 to 47, I think. So it was just like more money than I had before, you know? So that's kind of the whole journey from start to finish, where Uber and Lyft's been. Some other cool things, I've given some really cool rides. I've given rides to 4 NFL players. The most notable was Fozzie Whitaker, who is a backup running back for the Carolina Panthers. I think he's a free agent now. I gave a ride to Taylor Swift's very first manager. As you can guess, that was probably in Nashville, and it was after the CMAs. I gave a ride to a mayor before. Like, you know, I've just met some really cool people. Where I'm at, I think I've given like somewhere between 5,000 or 6,000 lifetime rides between the 2 apps. The networking has been unbelievable. I have booked acting work through people I've met in Uber Ride. That's happened about 3 times. I've met people I've worked with. I've met people that I've, you know, just hung out with, become friends with. I've had people that have given me concert tickets. I went to a George Lopez show. A guy gave me free tickets, and it was like good seats. So, you know, and that is, you know, a very underrated thing about Lyft and Uber. And one of the biggest pieces of advice that I think is so important in this, treat it like an adventure. You know, look at it from the perspective of you never know who you're going to meet each day you go out driving. And, you know, and that's going to make the entire process a whole lot more enjoyable. So yeah, guys, that is my journey. If you do want to check out some of my acting work, you can go to my IMDb. You know, if you type in Greg Wave, it's going to pop up. I don't actually have my picture up because I forgot to pay my IMDb bill. So I'm going to be getting on that soon. So hopefully by the time you guys watch this, my IMDb will have my picture on it. If you guys want, you can go to my Instagram. It's just Greg Wave. You're going to pull it up. It'll say Phoenix-based actor, writer, producer. That's me. You can shoot me a follow if you want. I'll follow you back. We can talk, ask me questions. Yeah. So yeah, that is my journey. As usual, you know the how it goes. Like the video, subscribe. I'm gonna be probably bringing you guys a lot more content. It sounds like seems like Dylan and I have worked out something pretty good. So, you know, he's a great guy, delivers great content, and I just, you know, I love sharing. I love giving advice. So yeah, reach out to me, guys. You know, network. Let's talk. And if you're in Phoenix, let's hang out. And best of luck, guys. As usual, I hope you crush it on the road.